to a monitor, and they put them through 100 seconds of frustration. And they wanted to see their heart rate variability after that. So when they looked at it, it looked like this. I mean, it looked like, if you can imagine what a lie detector test looks like, it looked kind of like that. Same group of people, next 100 seconds, they went into a period of appreciation, and they watched the heart rate. Physically, it helps us. They did another study which was really interesting, and it was the effect of compassion versus anger on the immune system. And they found that for every 5 minutes you spend in anger, the performance of your immune system goes down for the next 6 hours. Those same 5 minutes spent in compassion actually helps to increase the efficiency and performance of your immune system for the next 6 hours. Now, I'm sure that we have all little frustrations during the day, but I like to always talk about the best example being traffic. You're sitting in traffic, and of course, not only are you sitting there, but then that idiot cuts you off. So what do? You speed up and you stare at him. Maybe it's just me. And then what happens? You go into the office, you go into the shop, you go to your next appointment, and you're just done. Everything from there, it just snowballs because you have that bad attitude, and then it just snowballs from there. Versus that same 5 minutes spent in compassion. You know what? Same jerk cuts you off, but instead, you know what? Maybe they just found out that their child was rushed to the hospital. Maybe something else happened. When you can get to compassion, it changes that whole focus, and it works with your immune system. I was in medical sales for the last 7 years, and I did a lot of continuing education programs. And my most popular class that I taught was hand hygiene. Think about the implications of what I just said to you. My major job in medical sales was to go into major healthcare facilities and educate nurses and surgical techs on the value of washing their hands. Gratitude does the same thing. Flu season is coming up. Wash your hands all the time and practice gratitude, because for your health, it absolutely works. Dr. Emmons had also done studies with different groups, neuromuscular diseases, autoimmune diseases. People that keep a gratitude journal have less pain, and they recover more quickly than groups that do not. So the first one for your health, we talked about the gratitude journal. The second one, or for yourself, second one for your health, to really just be aware of when you're having negative emotions taking over, because you are affecting your heart, you are affecting your immune system, and we can be a lot healthier and happier when we practice gratitude. The third one is wealth. And of course, that's one of the reasons why we're all here today. We like networking groups. We're here to meet people and to build our businesses. And gratitude also plays a big role in that. One of the reasons why I chose gratitude to start my business is I had actually come across a study that showed all the reasons why a company or a customer stops doing business with a company. 1% die. Okay, not a darn thing you're going to do about that. 3% move away. 9% switch due to a friend's recommendation, 14% switch because of the product itself. All of these little reasons that add up to 32%. What happens to the other 68%? 68% of the time, a customer stops doing business with a company because they feel ignored, unappreciated, or taken for granted. Have you seen this in your own business? Have you seen this with businesses that you've gone to? Yesterday I was in Columbus. I was speaking to the Ohio Independent Cosmetologist and Barber Association. So I had lots of examples from that. But I remember I had one stylist, a gentleman that I had been going to for a couple of years. He did a great job on my hair, and I loved him. Until the day that he must have been having trouble with AT&T. The entire time he was cutting my hair, He was on the phone. I never went back. And I never told him why I didn't go back, which is one of the statistics that I came across, in that only 1 in 25 people will actually express dissatisfaction for whatever reason. Who do they tell? They tell everybody else. You know, not only did I not go back to this guy, but I did tell a couple other people about the experience. That's what happens in business. It's a sad story that in order to set ourselves apart, we just have to do the right thing. We have to make people feel appreciated, make them smile when they're walking into the room, see them, see the customers. You know, I tell the story about one of my incidents at the Cleveland Clinic. It was, if you've ever gone into the Cleveland Clinic main campus, there's actually a crossing guard at the main entrance, okay? So I want you to imagine, it's February, 6:30 a.m., dark, gusting winds, about 20 degrees outside. Whole group of foul-tempered adults, shaking, waiting for the crossing guard to actually let them cross the street. Finally, the light turns red, and everybody starts to cross, scowling at the crossing guard. All I did is I walked up to him and I said, "Dude, I'm so glad I'm not you today." He lit up. Because of all those scowling people, I actually saw him, and I appreciated the fact that it was 6:30 in the morning, it was dark, it was gusty, and 20 degrees outside, and I'm sure he didn't like doing his job any better than any of us waiting to cross the street. It's little things like that. It's looking for ways that you can differentiate yourself by treating your customers like they are the most important people on the planet, because you know what? They are. Some of the statistics that I had come across, and this was from a variety of studies, shows that we're spending 5 to 10 times more to get a new customer than we are to take care of the customers that we already have. Think about the implications of that. If you added up everything that you spent when networking and advertising and promoting and the time in social media, and maybe to bring that one customer in the door, it cost $40. And then that first customer comes in and they have a short session with you. They spent $60. Okay, well, you made 20 bucks. But then that customer goes away, never to be seen again. Actually, it was interesting in the salon industry. Do you know that they have a 17% customer retention? For every 100 people that walk into a salon for the first time, only 17 of them come back the second time. What is the retention in your industry? And how much do you take to bring that customer in the door for the first time? Versus just a 2% increase in reduction is the same thing as reducing your costs by 10%. We're spending a lot of money doing all the things, even the free social media that we all love so much. If we put a dollar amount to the hours that we're spending, social media ain't free, honey. The average company loses 10% of its customers a year, and I think that that's a little low, depending on the industry. If you have just 5% less people leaving your business, or fewer people leaving your business, that can actually mean profits between 25 and 125% higher. Why is that? Well, the first time that you're doing business with that company, maybe that person, they just have a little order. But over the course of the years, you're not spending any money on that customer at all. They're just there, they're happy, they're fun to work with, they're enjoying you, and they're becoming much more profitable. We know from the 80-20 rule that it's 20% of our customers that are doing 80% of our business. And yet, who are we concentrating on? The 80% of them that are a pain in the ass, pain in the butt, that we don't like working with, that make our lives miserable. I think it was Robin Sachs who said that she only works with people that she likes. I love that. Wouldn't that be nice if you can go through all of your customers and fire the ones that are nasty to deal with on a regular basis? Find the ones that you like. Chances are they're going to be more profitable, they're going to be nicer to work with, they're going to hang around longer. And focus on those ones that are profitable by showing them gratitude, by making them feel appreciated. 2/3, again, in this study, just like my 68%, another study showed that 2/3 of customers do not feel appreciated. So there's so many things that we can do to do the unexpected. One of the easiest things that we can do is simply the thank you note. A customer comes into your shop, orders from you for the first time, you're sending them a handwritten note. Maybe say, oh, Lisa, that's too much of a pain in the butt, I just can't do that. There's services, I know that there's several of us in the room with send-out cards. There's also other online services where you can sit in the comfort of your house, create a card, and send it so it goes through the mail, never having to leave. That works. Uploading photographs to that, because you know that if you send somebody a card with their picture on it, it's never getting thrown away. But then, not only that, a couple days after the sale, you call that customer and say, hey, how are things working out for you? Do you have any questions? I don't want to call them, Lisa. What if things aren't working out for them? Wouldn't it be better if they told you than 24 of their closest friends? The phone call, again, things that nobody is doing. Maybe a couple weeks after that, they get a copy of your newsletter. It may be a snail mail newsletter. It may be an email newsletter, but something that is welcoming them to your family of customers. And then on their 1-year anniversary, they're getting a token gift from you. Hey, we've been together for a year now. Thank you so much for being a part of our family. Here's a pad of paper. Again, we don't have to invest tons and tons of money in doing these things. It's finding ways that we can make our customers smile. Yeah, happy birthday cards. One thing as I'm finishing up is if you want to go way off the deep end and really look for things that can differentiate yourself. I used to be in the welding industry. So imagine steel-toed boots, hard hat, safety glasses, walking into the steel mills, the salt mines. And in December, which you know is a lousy time of year to sell because nobody's working and nobody wants to see a sales rep, right? I came up with a character called Chronoclaus. I worked for Chronotron Welding. Chronoclaus had a red coat, black pants, Santa hat, big black bag of cookies and weapons, because maintenance men dig knives. And I would actually go through the shop carrying this. Imagine going through a Ford Motor Company with all these people with a big bag. And not only that, then I made up the 12 days of Chronotron Christmas where I would sing my specials to the customers. I made a complete and utter fool of myself the entire month of December. But you know what? December was my best month. Every year I set a record. Because I was willing to go out of my way, get out of the comfort zone. Did I like looking like an idiot walking through these plants? No. Was it fun in the course of things, especially when I saw those checks come in at the end of the month and they loved me? Absolutely. So what can you do in your business to set yourself apart from what everybody else is doing? Step out of your comfort zone and find ways that you can be grateful for the opportunity that you have in whatever business you're in, and take that out to your customers as well. So we have ourselves. We can write in our gratitude journal and experience the benefits of that. We have our health, that we can be conscious as far as the emotions and what they're doing to us physically. And we can have our wealth, looking for ways to step out of the comfort zone so that we can make working with our customers and clients an experience that they will enjoy. So let me ask you one final question. Do you think that it's necessary to walk across a 12-foot bed of white-hot burning embers before you can incorporate harness the power of gratitude in your life? No. Absolutely not. But I promise you that if you look at these 3 areas and carefully consider them, you will ignite every area of your business and of your life. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.